Hello, you're king of the Sunday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin. You're with Minichi and Igam Deadlines. Rescue forces mobilized for search and rescue at sea. Health facilities gear up for Typhoon YAGI. Vietnamese dishes are among best salads in Asia. Deputy Prime Minister Chung Dong-hwa stressed the meeting held at 10 p.m. last night, September 7th, in Haiphong, that after Typhoon YAGI passes by, we must not be imprudent and post-storm recovery efforts must be conducted immediately, especially in searching and rescuing people in distress at sea. The event saw the attendance of Deputy Chief of the General Staff, Lieutenant General Nguyễn Xuân Anh. Deputy Prime Minister Chung Dong-hwa stated that it can be confirmed that Typhoon YAGI has rapidly weakened and local authorities are urgently implementing recovery efforts. He instructed that starting this morning, September the 8th, local forces should be mobilized to clean up post-storm debris, assess damages, and assist people in stabilizing their life. The Deputy Commander of Military Region 3 has been assigned to being present at the Quảng Ninh Provincial Military Command to oversee the search and rescue operations. In the Hạ Long Bay area, the Coast Guard Force has deployed 19 ships and 15 high-speed boats ready for rescue missions. Yet at this time, they are unable to depart due to rough sea with strong winds at level 8 to 9 and gusts of level 10 to 12. On the afternoon of September the 7th, Super Typhoon YAGI entered Vietnam and caused widespread rain. In Quảng Ninh province, heavy rain and strong winds caused damages to people and property. Taking advantage of the time when the rain stopped, officers and soldiers of Quảng Ninh Provincial Military Command has urgently mobilized forces to help local people overcome the consequences of Typhoon YAGI. Thousands of trees were uprooted in Mong Cái City, and the traffic sign system was also knocked down by the super typhoon. Heavy rain and strong winds caused severe damages to many houses or collapsed them. Upon receiving this information, Mong Cái City Military Command dispatched forces and vehicles to coordinate with local authorities to urgently clean up the streets and quickly help households overcome Super Typhoon YAGI's aftermath. The super typhoon caused my house to collapse completely. I would like to sincerely thank the Mong Cái City Military Command for coming to help my family clean up all the rubble. The forward command post of Quảng Ninh Military Command, located within Mong Cái City Military Command, continuously monitored the situation of Super Typhoon YAGI to direct and coordinate with functional agencies in a timely manner to dispatch forces to assist local people when necessary. Reminding the direction of Military Region 3 Command, Quảng Ninh Provincial Military Command and the local armed forces have developed a plan to respond to and overcome the consequences of the super typhoon. Particularly, we have prepared forces of over 2,000 people and dozens of vehicles to participate in overcoming the consequences while prioritizing search and rescue activities after the super typhoon. Super Typhoon YAGI has entered the north of Vietnam, in which Haiphong and Quảng Ninh are the two heavily affected localities. It is forecast that this area will have prolonged heavy rain, causing a very high risk of flash floods, landslides, and widespread flooding. Quảng Ninh armed forces will continue to closely coordinate with local authorities to be ready to respond, overcome consequences, and handle arising situations. In dealing with the complicated developments of Typhoon YAGI, the Department of Medical Service Administration under the Ministry of Health has released a document urging hospitals and health facilities in the northern and central regions to implement preventive measures in response to the typhoon. Specifically, those facilities are required to be prepared in personnel, medicines, machinery, and equipment to form at least 2 mobile emergency teams on duty around the clock in readiness to support provinces affected by the typhoon when mobilized. Leaders of provincial departments of health must be on duty around the clock, responsible for monitoring and inspecting hospitals and affiliated units in response to emergency situations before, during, and after the storm. Hotline numbers must be widely provided and operate non-stop. Typhoon Yagi is the sole storm to intensify into a super typhoon and make landfall on the China-Vietnam border area. Developed from a tropical depression off the coast of the Philippines, Typhoon Yagi reached its peak intensity of Category 4 with a speed of 240 km per hour and is not expected to weaken quickly due to unusually warm sea temperature in the sea. Experts say that high sea temperature and weaker wind shear are the culprits to the typhoon's intensity. Vertical wind shear and global warming are to blame for such storms like Typhoon Yagi. Satellite images show that the storm has a symmetrical structure, causing its intensity to be intact. Human-induced climate change makes storms not only stronger but also more frequent. The ocean has absorbed more than 90% of the excess heat from global warming, leading to higher sea surface temperatures, allowing more powerful storms like Yagi to form and grow stronger in the Western Pacific. Moving on to other news, at the invitation of the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lord Austin, a high-ranking delegation of the Vietnamese Ministry of National Defense led by Defense Minister General Phan Van Giang is paying an official visit to the U.S. from September the 6th to the 11th. The visit is in return to the official visit to Vietnam by the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lord Austin in July 2021. During the visit, both sides will exchange views on the world and regional issues of mutual concern, thereby enhancing strategic trust and further promoting defense cooperation between the two countries in line with the comprehensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and the U.S., contributing to maintaining peace, stability, and development in the region and the world. Coming up next, Vietnamese dishes are among best sellers in Asia. Art of Full-Lam pottery. The Vietnamese language is a precious asset of Vietnam, helping reflect, maintain, and spread the identity and quintessence of the Vietnamese culture, while reinforcing national independence and the great unity bloc. For every Vietnamese, no matter where they are, the Vietnamese language is a source of pride, a connecting fulcrum, a fighter that helps them affirm their position and confidently integrate into the world. As occasion of the Day of Honoring Vietnamese Language in Vietnamese Communities Abroad, we have a conversation with Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Lady Thu Hằng to better understand the work of preserving and spreading the love for the native language among overseas Vietnamese as well as international friends. The 13th National Park Congress affirmed the significance of creating conditions for compatriots to preserve the Vietnamese language, cultural identity, and enhance national pride and self-esteem. On August 3, 2022, the Prime Minister approved the project, honoring the Vietnamese language in Vietnamese communities abroad. Could you elaborate on the significance of the project and its effectiveness so far? In fact, preserving culture, including the Vietnamese language, is one of the priorities of the Overseas Vietnamese Affairs. That is clearly shown in all three important political documents of our party, namely Resolution 36, Directive 45, and Conclusion 12. And it is realized by the project honoring the Vietnamese language in Vietnamese communities abroad, with the aim to raise people's awareness of preserving and promoting, as well as maintaining their mother tongue in the context of many changes in the cultural environment today. And it can be said that for 2 years implementing this project, with 5 regular activities of launching the Vietnamese Language Honoring Day, building Vietnamese bookcases, holding gratitude activities and Vietnamese language ambassador contests, and especially organizing annual summary ceremonies, we have received a very increasingly positive and large response from Vietnamese communities abroad of many generations and even foreigners. Wherever I go, I'm asked about the contest and people really long for more activities so that the project can be further widespread. Especially the Vietnam's flag-raising ceremony on August 30th at San Francisco City Hall. The local representative clearly stated in his speech that the locality wants us to preserve the culture of the Vietnamese people to enrich the identity of the city as well as the United States. We are making efforts to preserve the Vietnamese language as the national pride, a connecting fulcrum, a fighter that continues the value of the traditional cultural identity. And I'm sure that it is not only limited within Vietnamese communities abroad, but also spread to many international friends. What do you think of this point of view?
Thực ra về phạm vi của đề án thì rất là lớn.
Actually, the scope of the project is very large because we have more than 60 million Vietnamese people living, settling, working, and studying in more than 130 countries and territories through 5 continents. I think this project has greater value as it not only maintains and promotes the Vietnamese language and Vietnamese communities abroad, but also to preserve and conserve the cultural identity. As the Vietnamese language can affect many aspects of life, including communication, family affection, history education through books, culture and art through poetry, folk songs, and on a larger scale, international friends and local people have been increasingly interested in the Vietnamese language. For example, we placed Vietnamese bookcases in libraries around the world, like in the US and Canada. During our visits abroad, when giving books to local authorities, we see they are very welcoming. They highly appreciate and pledge to cooperate with us in spreading the Vietnamese language. Thank you for your sharing. Recently, the famous culinary website Atlas, known as a map of traditional dishes from around the world, has released a list of the best-rated salads in Asia. In this list, gỏi bò or shred beef salad, nộm or salad, and phở chốt or mixed noodle of Vietnam are placed among best salads in the world. Seemingly lifeless lumps of clay are transformed into soulful objects through the skillful hands of ceramic artisans. Its pottery piece embodies both artistry and the heartfelt sentiments of its creator, turning these clay lumps into vibrant works of folk art. These products are made from red clay sourced from Thong Vat at Cung Khiem in Bắc Giang province. The deft hands of artisans create lovely, highly practical items. Trần Thị Luận from Bắc Ninh is one such artisan. I make fish pots, white rice, pickling jars, dishwashing bowls, and pickled vegetable jars. I've been working in pottery since I was 13, following my parents' footsteps. I've been making pottery products for 80 years now. Like Mrs. Luận, the young artisan Minh Ngọc, who has loved clay since childhood, has created many pieces that reflect the points of life. Building on the glazes of our ancestors, we have crafted and explored many traditional glaze colors and discovered new hues. Different temperatures create unique glaze effects. Modern trends mean that pottery is no longer just for daily use. To keep up with the trend, we incorporate traditional patterns and styles into our designs, reflecting contemporary life. To increase the visibility of their pottery, the people of Phu Lang have embraced a new direction for their craft, community tourism, and rural cultural experiences. I really want to visit this place to see the pottery making process. I enjoy making pottery myself because it's a warm, hands-on experience. I love the traditional brown glaze and the craftsmanship. The artistic essence is conveyed into the pottery, creating eye-catching designs that are rich in folk value. The patterns on Phu Lang pottery depict nature, people, traditional culture, and interesting Vietnamese stories. It's the end of the English News Bulletin today. You watch our news again at QPVN.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.